Calvin Castine at the Bowl Mart Lanes, just outside of beautiful downtown Rouse's Point. It's the 7th day of January 2014. Chris Cokes has himself a strike, and Brett Stevenson looks like he got one pin in his first ball. It's Willsboro at Northeastern Clinton. Willsboro has no B team. Cougar has only 2 eligible B players. So they're going to be bowling, but just for the heck of it. It'll probably count toward their averages, but it won't count toward any points for the team. Looks like the lanes are a little slippery here. 9 degrees outside. We had a lot of rain yesterday. Let's see, Mark Furman is up for the Cougars. That was Adam Miro for Willsboro. And he's going to miss his spare. Stevenson finished with 5 pins. I actually got 5 pins in that first frame. And there's 7 for the frame for Miro. The 2 B bowlers are Andrew Visconti and Stephen Mayo. And we'll glance at them once in a while. That there was Kevin Sterling. This here is Connor Steves. He picks off 1 pin. So the Willsboro team has only 4 boy bowlers. They don't even have a full A team eligible to bowl, so should go quickly. The girls are bowling over this way. Here's Steves. And he's going to leave 2, get 8 for the frame. I've got only that strike from Cokes so far. And Sterling got 8 for his first frame. Here's Jolliker, Matt Jolliker. He's a split of sorts. Connor Sheehan leaves double wood, the 3-9. Here's Conti, and here's Mayo. Not even sure if, no, they're not even unless they just were warming up, practicing, because they weren't in those lanes originally, so they came over here late. 9 for the frame for Jolliker and 8 for the frame for Sheehan. That leaves just Joey Robert for the Cougars. We had a choice tonight of either here or NAC for wrestling, and we chose here. We've missed a few of these bowling matches recently. So, looks like the 3:10 left for Robert. He will pick up his spare, so we have our first spare of the game. And Cokes will get up. We won't gain a lot of time here because Cokes just won't bowl till the anchor bowler is done. So he's not going to pick us up any time. The only time he'll pick up is when he gets a strike. But even there we won't get any time because it depends on how fast the rest of his teammates go. There's a strike for Brett Stevenson. And it looks like Mayo and Visconti are ready to start counting their pins. In the gutter for Mark Furman. Looks like David Lee is, I think it's David Lee, one of the soccer officials from the Willsboro area, is the coach for Willsboro. Rick Dumas is the coach for the Cougars. Furman picks up a spare. Pete Jakes is the bus driver, in case you're wondering about who drove the bus. Here's Adam Miro going for his spare. Has the 7-pin, and he's going to just barely, oh, that won't count. It bounced out of the gutter to pick up, so somebody will have to adjust the scoreboard. Looks like Coach, so have to head over to do that. Here's Sterling. Ooh, a breaking ball. He's heavy on the pitching rubber. We'll watch while we're waiting. We'll watch Visconti and now Mayo. Mayo picks up a strike. And 8 for the frame for Sterling. 7 pins on his first ball for Connor Steves. Joliker up for the Cougars. Another strike for Mayo. He likes those lanes. And a strike for Joliker. Now here's Steves going for his spare. And Visconti picked up 7 pins on his ball. Spare for Steves. Here's Joey Robert. And Robert leaves a solid 7. Here's Sheehan. Sheehan leaves the 3-6-9. Visconti picks up a spare. There's Robert. And Robert spares. Here's Sheehan. The 5 Cougar bowlers actually went faster than the 4 Willsboro guys. Sheehan got 9 for the frame. So let's see. 113 to 64, 66. 113 to 66. Brett Stevenson up for the Warriors in the gutter. Chris Cokes up for the Cougars. And Cokes says 3 in a row. 3 in a row. This could be the start of something big here. That's in the gutter. That's going to be a double gutter. A double gutter for Stevenson after getting a strike in the last frame. There's Furman leaves a 7-9 split. 7-9. Adam Miro up for the Warriors. And Miro 3/4 of a picket fence. The 1, 3, 6. And field goal. Looks like he was going to get at least one, but barely missed it. Miro will miss his spare. Now Sterling. Sterling will put it in the gutter. He's got a heck of a hook. Got to bring that to the pitching rubber. I'll have to let Jerry Davison know about that drop ball. Oh! Connor Steves goes to the left. And getting 6 for the frame was Sterling. So I'll bring up Matt Jolliker. Steves will leave the 1-2-4. Jolliker now. And he gets a strike. Sheehan. There's the coach hiding over that away. Sheehan picks off 7 pins. And we've got Joey Robert up for the Cougars. Robert with the strike. Sheehan will leave the 3-pin. He'll get 8 for the frame. What do we got? 205 and 89. Cougars with a big lead. Stevenson leaves a 1-4. Cokes. So in a row for Cokes. And that's going to be in the gutter for Stevenson. Here's Furman. Furman leaves the 4-pin. Visconti picks up a spare. Here's Miro. He missed it. This must be Furman going for the spare. He's going to miss the spare. Another strike for Mayo. Eight pins on his ball for the frame. Sterling picks off 7, so it's Miro getting 8 pins for the frame. And we got Connor Steves. Leaves a 6-pin. Sterling will, left the front one. Is that the head pin? Yep, looks like it, huh? The head pin or the 5-pin. At any rate, he missed it. So he gets 9 for the frame. Now we got Steves going for his spare. Steves picks it up. And Matt Jolliker steps up for the Cougars. And Jolliker with a strike. Quickly to Sheehan. Sheehan with a strike. All right, that's what we like to see. Move this game along here. And Joey Robert. That's 3 in a row for Jolliker. Joey Robert up, anchor bowler for the Cougars. And Robert with a strike. So it's a double for Joey Robert, a triple for Jolliker, and we got Chris Copes due up for the Cougars. And Brett Stevenson starting the fifth frame for Willsboro. We're going to have to glance at the B-boys just to show how they're doing. We'll do that right after Copes' ball here. And it kept going. 5 in a row for Chris Copes. And going for a spare is Stevenson. He gets 7 for the frame. Meanwhile, 143 and 87 going into the 10th. There's Furman. Those are the B guys. Oh, I'm glad that 7 dropped. It was Miro. Every time we look at Mayo, he's putting the 10 down now. Visconti going for his spare in the 10th, and he will get it. So he'll get a fill ball and a chance to break 100. He's got 97 right now. And Mayo's got a 153 gutter ball from Miro. Now Furman going for his spare. Throws it in the gutter. And that's going to ride the rail into the gutter for another strike for Mayo. That's Steves. Here's Sterling. Just barely got the 10 pin. Visconti's fill ball just goes into the gutter, so he leaves it at 97. All he needed was 3 there to break 100. And the pins avoided him. Oh, there's a complete miss. And a gutter ball from Mayo. Now we have Sterling going for his spare. Gets 6 for the frame. So Steve's, I think he got a double gutter. Sheehan is up. We'll take a look at that and see. A 162 for Mayo, by the way. Yeah, that was a double gutter for Steve's. There goes Sheehan working on a strike. There's Joliker. Joliker picks up his 4th in a row. Now we got Robert coming up. He's got a double. He's working on a double. And leaving a pin was Sheehan. Six pins for Robert. As the B-boys, both of them, are set to start their second game. Those are about in the 5th frame, I think. So they're not far behind the boys. The boys are just completing their 5th. Those are just starting their 5th. So that's a spare for Robert. And team totals, I don't know if we even want to look at them here. We'll catch Stevenson's first ball in the 6th, leaves the 10 pin. And now Cokes. Another one. 6 in a row for Chris Cokes. 6 in a row for the Coke man. Stevenson gets 9 for the frame. Furman steps up for the Cougars. Leads the 5 pin. Well, we'll look at the team totals. 443 And 161. Miro gets, looks like 4 pins. Maybe 5. I think the scoreboard says 5 on his first ball. Furman will pick up his spare. And Miro will, get 9 of them. Give it a shot. A try for Adam Miro. Now we have Sterling. He got it just before it went in the gutter. He got that 10 pin. Connor Steves is up for the Warriors. Bouncer. A 2-hopper into the gutter. Must have stuck on his thumb and turned into a plum. Here we go. Sterling, nope. He gets 8 for the frame. There's Steves looking for a spare, 10-pin spare. He's got it. After that 2-hopper, he turns it into a 10-pin spare. There's Joliker. Joliker. He's got his 5th in a row. And we got Sheehan with a strike. I'll bring up Joey Robert. Well, he's a 7-pin. Mail, every time we look at him, he gets a strike. Robert miss his spare. Just off the plate. It's January 7th. By the time this gets on hometown cable TV, it'll be close to pitchers and catchers there. Well, there's Miro, huh? There's Cokes. 7 in a row for Cokes. It wasn't Miro, that was Stevenson. That's Stevenson. Stevenson's up there for the Warriors. Give him 6 for the frame. Herman leaves the 1-2. Misses the head pin. Here's Miro. Looks like the 2, 4, 5, 7. Uh-oh. Mayo must be, he didn't know the camera was on. Didn't get a strike that time. Herman picks up his spare. And Visconti throws it in the gutter. Here we go with Miro. Give him 8 for the frame. Sterling will defer to Mayo. And he picks up his spare with 9 on the spare ball. Sterling, nope. Leaves the 2, 4, 7. That time the jump ball by Steves kept on the alley and knocked down 6 pins. Sterling in the gutter. And a spare for Steves. Nine pins for Jolica. Sheehan picks out 7. Jolica going for his spare. Looking at the 9 pin. And he will cover it easily. Sheehan. These little dominoes, he gets it. So he picks up the 369. Well, actually, 3610. Not the 369, 3610. Robert with a strike. That spare by Jolica there brought an end to his 5 in a row.
Come on, Maddie, go get it.
He has a nice total going in. Starting the, what is it, the 8th frame now. Brett Stevenson rolls it in the gutter. Chris Coates is up. Whoop. It didn't foul. It didn't foul, didn't cross the line. I think he's thinking about that 7 in a row. So let's see. 9 pins for Stevenson. The strike that wasn't supposed to happen. 8 in a row for Cougars. He was almost as excited as his mother. Six pins for Miro. Here's Furman. That's 7 for Furman. We got Miro putting it in the gutter, gets 6 for the frame. Furman. Ooh, picks up that front one. No dominoes there for him. There's Steves. For Warriors, Steves. Left a bunch of them. And Sterling. There's the 1, 2, 4. Getting just a 7 pin as Steves. Like those B guys are approaching the 10th frame. They're going into the 9th in their second game. Get Sheehan. Like we have a hang up in lane 14. It's going to wiggle and stay there. A little hula pin. Missed it by that much. We're waiting for that lane 14 to be repaired. Maybe get all of them but that one. Visconti in the 9th frame. Bale looking to go for his spare. He's got an even 100 right now. After getting 162 in his first game. Oh, this wouldn't come back. Okay, Mike Goyette has repaired whatever problem there was in lane 14. Got the 1-2-4 set up for Sterling. And Sterling is going to get him. Well, these guys are about to wrap up their 10th frames. 117 for Mayo. Visconti has got pins that he's waiting for a reset over here. Well, Visconti is sitting there waiting. And Mike Goyette's going to have to go back. Well, we have Matt Joliker up. And Joliker took a frame off, but he's back in the strike zone. We got Robert who's working on a strike. He's a 2-4-7. There's Visconti, and he will miss his spare, so he's not going to come quite as close to breaking 100 this time. He gets 73 for his second game. Now we got a ball. Joey Robert waiting for a ball. Robert got 7 pins. I think I was looking at Visconti when Robert threw his ball. Give us a chance to check the scores here. We got a 54, 56, 72, and a 102. Nobody on Willsboro working on a spare or a strike. So they're going into the 9th. We've got Cokes, hasn't got a blemish yet through 8th, and we got 96 for Furman. Sterling has got a 52 with a spare. Joliker's got a 168 and a strike, so he should easily hit the 100 mark. Should, I say. And now we got Joey Robert working on a strike. He has a 7 on his first ball. And there's his second ball. He's going to spare. So he'll mark.
Take your time, everybody. Come on.
That gives him a 133 plus a spare. 689 team to 284 for the Warriors. Here's Brett Stevenson into the ninth, and he'll pick off a pin or two. And I'll bring up Christopher Coates. And Coates. A late drop on the 10 gives him 9 strikes in a row. And we got an open for Stevenson. Now Furman will step up. Furman gets 8 pins. Here's Miro. Miro gets 7. The delays here, the girls are starting to catch up. They are in the 9th frame also. Furman with a miss. Gets 8 for the frame. In fact, the girls might be a bowler ahead of the boys at this A-boys. And Miro puts it in the gutter. And now get us to Sterling. Sterling left a solid 7. Here's Steves. This leaves a 1-2-4. Sterling, a lefty bowler, trying to get that 10 pin, 7 pin. That's the nemesis for the lefties, just like the 10 pins are nemesis for righties. And 7 for the frame for Steves. Matt Joliker up now for the Cougars. He's working on a strike. He's got 6 strikes thus far in his first game. And give him another one.
Come on, Joey. Come on, Joe. Big Phil.
Here's Sheehan. It's a strike for Sheehan. How about that? Here is Robert. And Robert is the 139. He was working on a spare. Robert bangs home that spare. We'll go to the 10th frame. It'll be Stevenson for the Warriors and Coates for the Cougars.
Hey, Sabrina on 1. Good job, Sabrina.
10 in a row for Chris Coates. He is 2 fill balls away from perfection. 10 in a row for Coates. There's Stevenson getting 7 pins. Ball wouldn't come back. Ball wouldn't come back. And we got Stevenson in the gutter.
More games, do it again.
Well, Stevenson finishes with a 65. Cokes hoping to at least mark here in the 10th. He does. So he'll get a fill ball. That was his fill ball. Excuse me, that was it. So there's Miro getting nothing, I guess. So Cokes gets a 281. Furman will pick off 7 pins. I think Ben Gooley got in the 290s one time when we were here. Miro gets 9 pins. Spare for Furman. Miro finishes up with a 72. And Steves is in the gutter. Here's Furman's fill ball. He will strike. So that'll give Furman a 124 with a strong finish. And here is Steves. Steves gets 1 for the frame. I give him 80. And Sterling stepped up while we were looking at the score here and picked off 8 pins here in the 10th frame. And we got Connor Sheehan coming up for Willsboro. He's working on a strike. He's already in the hundreds. He'll get 7 on his first ball in the 10th. Sterling will pick it up. So Sterling will get a fill ball. And a chance to hit 100 if he can get a strike on it. Meanwhile, there's Sheehan. Now, Sterling's hoping to get them all down. He will get most of them down. Give him a 97, I guess. And a spare. It's a 132 plus his fill ball for Sheehan. Sterling finished with a 97. Jollifer up now. One of the girls' teams is already done, so the girls, to no fault, particular fault of the boys here, they had some lane trouble. Fell behind. There's 8 pins for Sheehan. Jolliker. Jolliker gets the spare. So let's see, a 140, nice 140 for Connor Sheehan. Jolliker well into the 200s. Has a 221 plus this ball. Looks like a 231 from here. Let's see. Yes, indeed, 231. That goes very nicely with the Coke's 281. Meanwhile, the B-boys are in their 9th frame in the 3rd game with both of them. All right, that's Joliker. Robert, no, it's Robert. Joliker's done. Robert got 4 pins here in the 10th for his spare. And Joliker Robert picks them up. And a 176 plus his fill ball. He's going to get a special ball here.
You can do it. Good ball, Sabrina.
Girls are starting. And Robert strikes. We'll give him a 186, 919 team. So that'll wrap it up from the Bees. We're going to move on to the girls, so don't go away. We are at the girls, and they are in their first frame in the 2nd. Actually, we've got one Willsboro bowler was finished already. Caitlin Bruce was just there. Debbie Lee was just there, and Kayla Gay just bowled. This is that's not Sabrina Fair. Where are we here?
There, Caitlin.
That's Caitlin Bruce. So we're in the 2nd frame. Sabrina Fair was the first bowler. I'm going to have to move over here to get a better view on the girls. That's Cassidy Nixon. And that is Lindsay Laney. There's Nixon. It's 6 pins. Getting 9 for the frame was Laney. We're going to wander over here with the camera rolling. Meanwhile, our B-boys are finishing up their 10th frame in their 3rd game. Our mobile camera here.
Come on, Jaden. Great, Kevin.
Jaden Goslin is up for the Cougars, and Caitlin Arthur for Willsboro. Let's see. There's Arthur's ball. There's a 9. And Goslin with her 7. Okay, Visconti finished with a 112. Mayo finished with a 146. A 425 series for him. 282 for Visconti. Now we have Madison Dumas. And Yeager in the meantime. Gabby Yeager snuck up there and got a strike, so I didn't get a chance to see her bowl while checking out the B-boys. So now it's going to the top of the frame, and it's Debbie Lee. Not Debbie, but Debbie with a D-E-V is in Vincent. And we're for 9 on her first ball.
Come on. Good ball, Sabrina. Good
And
ball.
Sabrina Fair got 9 on her first ball. Fair was working on a strike.
Come on, Joe.
Lee was also working on a strike. Lee will pick up her spare, yes. And Fair will pick up her spare. How about that?
Hey, get spare. Good job, Sabrina.
Hey. Sticks on your thumb or not, it still counts as long as you get the pin down. Here's Gay for the Warriors. She got 7 pins in the second frame. And Caitlin Bruce up for the Cougars.
Here, Joe. Come on, take it up, buddy. Come on, Joe.
And Bruce got 6 pins.
You can do it, Caitlin. Go get it.
Gay will get 7 for the frame. Coates had a strike to start the second game, but he gets 9 on his second one, so there'll be no
Go get it, Chris.
long string to the final in this one. Oh, won't fall. 9 pins for Laney. And Bruce will miss her spare.
All right, Chris.
Laney.
Good job, Liz.
He's happy. Now Nixon. Nixon leaves the 4 pin.
Get 2, Nard. Get 2.
And a pin or 2 for Arthur, Caitlin Arthur. And an open for Nixon. There's Arthur. Arthur might have, nope. That's the 1-3. Goslin up now for the Cougars.
All right, Kevin. All right, Kev. Come on, Jaden.
1 pin on her first
Come on,
ball.
Jaden.
And leaving a nasty split is Gabby Yeager. When I wasn't looking, she bowled a strike. I'm looking, she gives herself a 4-10. There's Goslin.
Better ball,
And she gets 9 for the frame. Yeager. Give her 8 for the frame. Dumas for the Cougars. She's working on a strike.
Okay, guys. Come on, Maddie. Come on, Maddie.
And she gets all but the 4.
Come on, buddy. Come on, Joey.
Dumas will
Okay, Matt. Come on, Maddie.
miss her
Shake it off.
spare.
All right, Maddie. Shake it off. Okay.
fair, starting the third frame.
Throw your strike ball, honey. Hit your mark.
Leaves the 1, 3, 6, 8. And we got Debbie Lee. Looks like 6, 7, 10 for Lee. She seems unimpressed. 9 for the frame for fair. Lee. She missed them all. I'll bring up Caitlin Bruce for the Cougars. Oh, she leaves a 6-10. And we got Kayla Gay taking off 3 pins. And Bruce leaves the 10. Oh, that's the 2, I think. That was Kayla Gay. Now we got Cassidy Nixon. Nixon with a strike. Lindsay Laney. He gets 5 pins. And Goslin gets 8 on her first ball. Laney. And she'll get 5 for the frame. Goslin will get 9 for the frame. There's Arthur. Ooh, that's a better ball. I'll bring up Dumas. Madison Dumas. He has 9 pins. Arthur will get 5 for the frame. Dumas spares. And Gabby Yeager is a bowler. And she gets 8 pins in her first ball. And we've got Debbie Lee starting the 4th frame. Leaving, I think, the head pin. No, 5 pin. Leaving the 5 pin. Spare for Yeager. And a miss for Lee. It is fair for the Cougars. Strike for Sabrina Fair.
I heard.
There's Gay.
See it. Like, see it.
5 for Gay. Now Bruce. Willsboro at Northeastern. January 7th, 2014.
All right, Kevin. Come on, Kev. Grab yourself.
Eight pins for Gay is Nixon. She gets the 10 pin to start the 4th. Laney gets 7 pins in her first ball. Nixon going for a spare, will not pick it up. She'll get 4 pins for the frame. There's Laney. Let's give her 7. Goslin up for the Cougars. And she leaves a picket fence, a 1, 2, 4, 7. Brings up Caitlin Arthur. Arthur leaves just the 3 pin. There's Goslin. Goslin with the spare. And a spare for Arthur. Loomis is up. Loomis leaves the 5 pin. And a split for Jaeger. There's Dumas. Dumas picks up her spare. Jaeger. Jaeger gets 8 for the frame, leaves the 7-10. Gutter ball for Debbie Lee. Here is Sabrina Fair. She got Lee going for a spare. She's gonna get 8 for the frame. Fair has must be the 6. Yeah. 4, 6, 7. She'll leave the 6. Goes for the wood. Now, Kayla Gay. Gay picks off 2. And Bruce is up for Northeastern Clinton Central School. Bruce gets 7 pins. We're waiting for Gay. He gets 7 pins for the frame. Bruce already has 7 pins. She's looking to make it 10. And she does. So a spare for Bruce. Lindsay Laney. Lefty. Lefty Lindsay Laney leaves a 1-3-6. What a late drop on a 10. Cassidy Nixon, I think that fell without going in the gutter. Went in the gutter after hitting it. Laney going for a spare. Number 8. And Nixon will get 1 for the frame. 1 for the frame. There's Arthur. She picks off 6. Goslin is up. Here's a 1-2-4. Arthur misses her spare. There's Goslin. Oh, Yeager with a strike. Gabby Yeager with a strike. Here's Madison Dumas. 2 strikes.
Way to go, Maddie! Good job, Mad!
Cheering section comprising of Kendra Hawksby. And now up to Sabrina Fair. Late drop on the 10, give her 9 on the first ball. And Lee now for the Warriors. She leaves a 10. She had hope. She was a hoping. Now Fair will get 9 for the frame, leaving the 6 pin. I'll bring up Bruce for the Cougars. And Lee is back in the picture. Not sure where she wandered off to. And Lee will throw it in the gutter. And Bruce will step up. It's 8 pins for Bruce. Gay now. And Gay gets 6 pins. Just missing it.
Try, Caitlin.
That was Caitlin Bruce. There's Gay. And she'll miss it. So we'll get to Cassidy Nixon. leaves a 5 pin. And Laney is up, and Laney will pick off 7. Nixon will pick it up. Just barely got it. And Laney's gonna miss her spare. So gets us to Goslin for the Cougars and Arthur for the Warriors. Here's Arthur. He picks up 9 pins. Left the 2. Goslin. Leaves the 6-10. Arthur misses her spare. Goslin will pick up his spare. There's Yeager. Yeager strikes. Now Dumas is up for the Cougars. Dumas leaves a 1-3-6. Fair's up. And Fair gets 9.
Come on, Madison. Good try, Mark. Good job.
And Dumas.
That way, Mad. Good try, Mark.
Fair will miss her spare.
Try, Sabrina. 1, 2, 3. 3 big screens.
This is Lee. And she missed him. Successfully avoided every one of those pins. That brings us to Bruce Lee right now. Bruce will go, then Lee. Bruce Lee is up here. Caitlin Bruce and Kayla Lee, Debbie Lee. A little bit of a picket fence plus. And Lee will get about 8, I think. Leave 8, I mean, or 9, let's see. Oh, she got 3, so she left 7. There's Bruce. And she might, no. Needed a little bit of dominoes there, and she wasn't able to get the angle. Gay throws it in the gutter. Nixon just gets a 7 pin. Oh, just a 7 pin left for Gay. There's Nixon going for a spare. She'll get 7 for the frame. Laney up for Willsboro. ball down. They give her a strike. Here's Goslin. 5-7 left. It's called the Hines. 57. Looking for the Hines split. There's Arthur. She leaves the 58. Oh, Rosalind gets 9 for the frame. Arthur going for her spare. She will miss it.
Okay, Mark, back on it.
And Dumas will step up for the Cougars. Dumas leaves the 4. Yeager. Or Willsboro. And Yeager with a strike. How about that? Now Dumas going for a spare. She will miss it by about 7 hairs. So that'll get us to, it looks like it must be the 8th frame. And Sabrina Fair. And Fair with a strike. Lee now for Willsboro. Give her 5. Give her 4. 4 on her first ball. In the 8th. Bruce will step up for the Cougars. She leaves the 6, 7, 10. Lee gets 8 for the frame. Oh, Gay, actually, Gay. That was Gay. Gay gets 8. No, that was Lee. Now we have Gay. There's Bruce. Bruce gets 9 for the frame. Gay. Leaves the 3, 6. Mixing up for the Cougars. There's a couple. She got maybe 4. And they got her ball for Gay. I'll bring up Laney for the Warriors. Nixon going for her spare. Give her 6 for the frame. Laney will pick up a strike. It's a double for Lindsay Laney. So we got Goslin for the Cougars and Arthur for the Warriors. Goslin with a strike. Arthur leaves a 7. Well, quickly we'll bring up Dumas for Northeastern. Suppose we ought to check some of these scores. Looks like the Cougars are about 50, 60 points ahead in team total. Dumas, it's 7 or 8. And Arthur will get her spare. Well, she is 462 to 408 right now. That's a 8 ball for spare for Thomas, 8 pins for Jaeger.
Next game. Come on, next game. Come on, Chris, next game. That's all. Come on. That's my
Jaeger will pick up the spare. And Lee is going to start the 9th frame and leave a picket fence.
Good ball, Mark. Good ball.
Fair working on a strike. Lee is the 6-10. Lee up for Willsboro. You got it. Knock down that fence. Oh, nice spare for fair. A fair spare. Put the ball right there. Which probably isn't all that rare. Here's Gay. He gets the 7-pin. Bruce. I think she got 3. Maybe 4. Pins for the frame for Gay. Bruce. Oh, left the probably the 5-pin, huh? And Laney is working on a double. Now Nixon leads at 4-7. Laney. Laney is in the gutter. Nixon will go in the gutter too. Arthur up for the Warriors. A couple of pins. Goslin. Goslin gets 7 pins here in the 9th. Arthur leaves the 5. Give a 9 for the frame. Goslin with a spare. There's Jaeger. Just the 2-pin. Strike. Maddie Davis.
Good job, Matt.
Jaeger looking for her spare.
Good ball, honey. Good ball.
She has it. And just like that, we'll head for the 10th frame. Looks like it's got a little chilly in here for Debbie Lee.
Good try.
It's 7, leaves a 7. Here's Fair.
Nice to green on 1.
She leaves the 3-pin. Looks like we discovered that the sweatshirt would be a little binding on her.
Alright, Chris, let's go. Up right.
She picks up a spare. She'll get a fill ball. Fair, will she spare? No. So her second game is over. We're at 139. 328 so far, yes. The first game I think was a 189 I heard, so I think that math works out. Just a couple for Lee's fill ball. I'll give her a 115 and 197 altogether so far. Ms. Bruce. Bruce leads the 4-5. And Gay is up for Willsboro. Leaves a 1-2-4. Luke says I meant to do that. She's so excited she forgot all about her fill ball. She's so excited she took off. Gay misses her spare. Gay will have a 78, 161 for 2 games. Sounds like she had an 83 in the first game, huh? There's Bruce's fill ball. We'll give her 7 more. Laney. A double wood. Double wood for Laney. Team-wise, it's fairly close. Laney has a double wood to pick up. The 3-8. She's going to miss it. Everyone open in the 10th. Nixon. Leaves a 2-pin. Laney has a 98, 183, so she had an 85 in her first game. Arthur will get 8 for the frame. Nixon gets 9. Nixon has a 75, 102 in the first game, gives her a 177. And then has a 98 and an 183. Arthur, give her 182, 91, and 91. How about that consistency? Here's Goslin. Goslin leaves the probably the 2-9. Jaeger picks off 7. I'd say the Cougars will take this second game. There's Goslin. For a 9 for the frame. Give her a 124 and a 237, so she had a 113 in their previous game. And Jaeger has an open. A lot of opens here in the 10th. Finishes with a nice 174, so she had probably a 183 in that first game. Good game. Dumas gets 9 pins. So she's got a 145 and 9 and 9, 45 and 18 would be 163. Gives her a 155 plus 10 and Miss Fill Ball, so 165 and 175 for Dennis. Dennis gets a 175, and she have a 220 in her first game. Wow. Kind of looks that way, huh? Well, the Cougars take the second game. We're going to move on to the A boys and probably have them take us through the rest of the evening. We'll just check the score here as we get ready to go to the A boys. 184 for Cokes, 39 Furman, Sterling 129. Gallagher can the double is in the 10th frame. He gets 9 on his first fill ball. On the other side, you got Stevenson with a 72, Miro with a 40, Steves with a 109, and Sheehan with a 113. Picks up the spare. Now Robert up. Robert strikes. We're working on an open. Hoping to salvage the game. Looks like he's struggled in this one. Carrying a 115 into the 10th on an open. Double for Robert. Team-wise in that game, Warriors at a 334. Cougars at a 778. Strikes out. We'll give him a 145. And we'll move on to the third game. Don't go away. We are in the third game at Bowl Mart.
Hit it. The ball, Jaden. The ball.
And it's January 7th, 2014. That was Brett Stevenson bowling for the Willsboro Warriors. With Willsboro at Northeastern. Nine for the frame for Stevenson. There's Chris Cokes for the Cougars. coach starts it off with a strike. We'll bring up Adam Miro for the Warriors.
Here, Maddie, go get it.
He gets 5 pins.
Flatten your hand out. Flatten your hand out.
Furman leaves a 1-3. It's Mark Furman. Adam Miro leaves the 5 pin. Give him 9 for the frame.
Yeah, Sabrina.
There's Furman going for a spare. He will pick it up. Mark Furman gets a spare. Here's Connor Steves. That leaves a solid 5. January 7th, 2014. Temperature 9 degrees and very windy when we came inside. Chilly, slippery day out there. 7 scoring. How about that? And no missing his spare. I was all set to congratulate Connor Steves, but he missed at 5 pin. Now we got Matt Joliker and Connor Sheehan. Here's Joliker. Strike for Joliker. Sheehan. In the gutter. Joey Robert up for Northeastern Clinton. And Robert with a strike. Sheehan. Robert struck out in the second, so he's got 4 in a row. And Sheehan will get 7 for the frame. Oh, everybody in the Cougars marked. 4 strikes and a spare. Nobody on Willsboro marked. Here's Stevenson. Rolls it in the gutter. And Chris Coates stepping up. And Coates with a double start things here in the third game. We had 10 in a row in the first game of the day. A double whammy there for Adam Miro. Almost said Mark Miro. There's Furman. Furman leaves a solid 10. Oh, I guess that was Miro's first ball. He's got another one. You'll get something. You'll get 1 for the frame, which is 1 better than nothing. Getting 9 for the frame is Furman. Now Connor Steves due up for Willsboro. He left the 5 pin. Kevin Sterling. Sterling with a strike. A gutter ball for Steves. So he gets 1 for the frame. Joliker gets a strike. Joliker is doubled. Sterling is doubled. Cokes is doubled. Robert is up. Roberts is doubled. So here's Steves. I don't know. I thought he had that was the second ball. I'm getting ahead of myself in this game. He gets 9 for the frame. Well, the Cougars have 4 doubles. Start things here in the third game. Here's Sheehan. Sheehan leads the 1, 2, 4, 8. Reminder, you are watching viewer-supported local television. We always have to choose where we're going to be. And today we chose to be here. There's wrestling going on in Ellenburg. There's other events going on around the North Country. So, Sheehan misses. Pete Jake says it's time to warm up the bus. So the bus driver's going to go warm it up.
39.
Well, we've got Stevenson up for Willsboro. He gets 8. Cokes up for the Cougars. He's a solid 10. And a gutter for Stevenson, 8 for the frame. There's Cokes. And open it. Miro. Miro leaves the 1, 2, 4. Furman up for the Cougars. He leaves at 10. That's the same 10 that Cokes left. Cokes goes over to congratulate him. In the gutter for Miro.
Take it out. Take your time. All right, Maddie, just one. All right, Maddie, pick it up.
Furman. That 10 pin might stand right there for the rest of the day. Who knows? So we've got Steve's up for Willsboro. There's the variety pack here. 4, 6, 7, 9, 10. Strike. Strike for Sterling. He took care of that 10 pin and 9 others with it. Here comes the variety pack. Oh, he left 4. So 6 for the frame for Steves. There's Joliker. Joliker with a strike. It's 3-bagger for him. 3-bagger for Sterling. There's Sheehan. Sterling and Jolica both have 3 baggers, and Robert has 2, a double, looking for the triple.
Go get him, Caitlin.
And he gets it. So 3 triples here to start the game for the Cougars.
Come on, Joe. Oh, that's smart.
Sheehan. Sheehan missed it. So it's going to be Stevenson up for the Warriors. And Cokes up for the Cougars. Cokes gets back on the strike trail after that open in the third. And Sheehan will miss his spare, so he'll get 4 for the frame. There's Furman. Furman's in the gutter. Newell's up. Newell's in the gutter.
Go back to your original one there. Oh my God. I'm going to use it again. You're going to use the same one?
Furman. He'll defer to Miro. Miro will get 1 for the frame.
Come on, Jaden. Come on, Jaden. Yeah, I might want to go back to the original ball.
Furman will get 8 for the frame.
Okay. All right, Kevin, hang him. Come on, Kevin.
Now we have Sterling for the Cougars, working on that triple. And Steves for the Warriors. Reminder, the Warriors have just 4 A bowlers, no B bowlers. Sterling left the 5-pin. So his run comes to an end. Picket fence left for Steves.
All right, Matt, keep it up. Come on, Matt. Come on, Matt. All right, Matt. Come on, babe.
Oh, hook shot. He's got that hook shot.
Come on, Matt. Keep it
Got to
going.
get him signed up with Jerry Davison on the baseball team. He's got that drop ball. Oh, Steve's missed them all. Now we have Joliker. He's working on a triple.
All right, Matt. All right, Matt. All right, Matt. Next frame, babe. Pick it up next frame. It's all right.
He gets a late drop on the 4-pin. Give him 4 in a row, a 4-bagger. Sheehan gets 7 pins. Now Robert working on the triple. Is up.
Who's the ball start with? Anyway, they fall down. It's here.
10-pin just slid off. Didn't want to fall, but it would slide, and it slid off. Hey, he found a way to get that ball through there, so Steve Sheehan misses his spare. And it's going to give us back to the lead bowlers, and this is Stevenson for the Warriors. Looks like he's got the 2, 4, 5, 7.
13. Fight.
And 7 for the frame for Stevenson. That'll get us to Nero. You got the 4-7-10 to contend with. We got some kind of a hold up on lane 13. Not sure what the hold up was, but there is a hold up there. There we go. The light's back on, so whatever the problem was, it's ready to go. In the gutter, there's 7 for the frame for Miro. Here's Cokes working on a strike. Now we got a missing pin, do we, or what? Apparently there's a missing 9 pin. Yep. Missing 9 pins, so they'll reset them. Now they're ready for Cokes, and Steves has been waiting patiently. Cokes. There's 8 pins on his first ball here in the 5th. Steves. He's a 4-7-10. Cokes with a spare. And 8 pins for Steves. There's Furman left a 9 pin. And Sheehan is up for Willsboro. Sheehan leaves a 1-2-4-8. 1-2-4-8. Is Furman. Furman picks up the spare. Sheehan leaves a solid head pin.
Listen, Matt, you're gonna have to move.
He gets 9 for the frame. Sterling. Coming off an open after 3 strikes. There's that pin you couldn't get last time, I think, or one of the pins. If you left 2. Oh, he left 1. He left a 10.
Great, Maddie! Come on, Maddie, have fun.
Well, he can still salvage the frame with a 9-pin spare.
Work, ball, work.
Nope, that's the 5. Left the 5. Well, he gets 9 for the frame. And here's Matt Jolliker. He is working on a 4-bagger here in the 3rd game. As is Joey Robert, who follows. 6 pin. They lose the 6. And Jolliker picks up his spare. Joey Robert. Makes it 5 in a row. So after the first frame, for the second frame, they had 4 guys with doubles. Coates dropped out. Then they had 3 guys with triples. Sterling dropped out. Then they had 2 guys with 4 baggers. And Jellicoe dropped out. So Robert carried on. Had all those perfect games going, and one by one they dropped off. Coates gets a strike. And we got a pin there for Brett Stevenson. There's Furman, Mark Furman. He leaves the 6'9". Stevenson will possibly, nope, he left the 5'8". 8 for the frame. And 9 for the frame for Furman. Adam Miro up now for Willsboro. Oops, no, it's not Merrill. It's still Merrill. Merrill gets 9 for the frame. Sterling. I think he had a strike last time. And leaves the 5'8". Steves for Willsboro. 1-2-4. Sterling. And then 9 for the frame. Steves gets the spare.
Come on, hit.
Yeah, well, we got Jellicoe and Sheehan.
236-6027.
8 for the frame. 8 for the first pin here. First ball here in the 5th. Are we in the 6th? I think we're in the 6th there. I'm getting bowled out here. Sheehan picks up a spare. Jellicoe looking for his spare. And I think we're in the 6th frame here. And Jellicoe spares. We're indeed in the 6th frame. Robert, who has 5 in a row, is up. He left the 10 pin. So 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th frame. We'll have a different one dropping off for coming in there with perfect games going. Robert gave it a nice run. Now he'll try to pick up that 10 pin for the spare. And he got it. Coates start the 7th. He's working on a strike. He'll get 6 pins on his first ball. Stevenson up now for Willsboro. Leaves the 4-5 on his first ball here in the 7th. spare for Cokes.
Who's spare, Chris?
Stevenson.
3 big frames left. 3 big notes.
Off the 5 pin.
All right, Jaden, go get it.
Miro up. Excuse me, Furman. Mark Furman up. And he leaves that little busy leave here. Here's Miro in the gutter. Well, he's got the 7, 9, 10, the 4, 6, and he's going to get the 6, 9, 10, leave the 4, 7. Miro going for his spare. He will pick up a pin. Well, we got a 1. Sterling. Hits his way in there and he's a 5-8.
Come on, Maddie, fill him out. Way to go, Matt. 2 big frames left. 3 big frames.
Strike for Connor Steves. There's Sterling. Kevin Sterling gets 8 for the frame. But it's the Sheehan for Willsboro and Jolliker for the Cougars. Sheehan will leave double wood. He's got the 1, 3, 9. Jolliker. Jolliker leaves the 7.
Try, Sabrina.
Sheehan picks up his spare. Jolliker. Any better. That's his first open.
3 big frames. 3 big frames left, Matt.
Joey Robert working on a spare after 5 strikes. Leaves the 6-10. There's Robert, and he will make it. He hooked at the end there, and he covered that spare. Team 642 to 220. Not in doubt at all at this point. Stevenson up for the Warriors. And the gutter came out and got a pin, so they'll have to reset it. Coates will step up for the Cougars. And Coates picks up a strike. Meanwhile, they're resetting the 13 alley. Adjusting the score. Furman will step up. And Furman with a strike. There's Stevenson. The only pin left standing is that 7 pin that he got down in the first frame when the ball came out of the gutter. Al Sterling leaves the 4 pin. Here's Miro. Miro with a strike.
Come on, Matt. Put another one together.
Sterling. In the gutter. So it gets us to Steve's for the Warriors, Joliker for the Cougars. Steve's leaves a 6-pin.
Use that one, let it curve in.
Joliker. Joliker leaves the 10. Oh, late drop on the 10. He's got a strike.
Good job, Matt.
He was counting on the crowd to fill him in. And Steve picks up his spare. So Robert will be up for the Cougars. Sheehan for Willsboro. There's Robert. Robert gets 8 pins. Sheehan. In the gutter. Robert gets an open. Left the 6-pin. Sheehan looking for a 10-pin spare. And he gets it. A 10-pin spare for Connor Sheehan. That'll move us into the 8th frame. Where are we? Here we go. We got Brett Stevenson up. And he got a pin. Chris Cokes. Working on a strike. Left the 10-pin. A couple more for Stevenson. He'll have about 3 for the frame, I think. Coke's up now. Coke's a spare. Miro up for Willsboro. Again, Willsboro with just 4 A bowlers. We'll have an open spot in the lineup, and the Cougars with just 2 B bowlers. Both teams short-handed, but the Willsboro much more so. Furman leaves double wood, the 6-9. Now Steve's gets 6 pins. Furman will miss his double wood. Steve's got 3 out of the 4. Left a 4-pin wiggling. At the 2, 4, 7, 8, and left the 4. A wiggling 5 for Sterling, and a solid 10 for Sheehan. Sterling spares. Sheehan has the 10-pin to pick up.
Try Jaden.
And you miss it. There's Joliker.
Alright, Madison.
Joliker working on a strike.
Come on, Maddie. Reach down, hit your mark. Yeah, that's what you need. Good job, Mad.
Strike for Joliker.
Oh, and lastly, really, you were mean. Oh. You were just mean. I have to stand in the same spot out there. Yeah. I got my foot. You were just mean.
There's Robert.
Sorry, Joey. Come on, Joe, go get it.
Robert gets 7. His first ball here in the
We need a screen on it.
8th frame.
Get it. Reach out, reach out. Switch.
And 9 pins for the frame for Joey Robert.
That's why.
Fair almost pulled the finger off over there.
You're letting her do her first ball on her rainbow and just moving her feet a little bit and we're not going for it. When you got more than one pin. Really think you sweated that.
Here's Shin.
144. That's a good game.
And Cokes up for the Cougars. Cokes for the strike. We're in the 10th frame. Gutter ball for Stevenson. We have some girls that have finished up here. We'll give you Goslin. No, that's Lee. 74. Kayla K with a 77. Coach for the spare. There's Miro. Gets 7 pins. On the Cougar side, Fair finishes with 144. Over here we had Stevenson finishing with a 56, a 193 triple. And an open for Miro.
14.
It's a 94. So we'll go back to the girls. We've got a ball return problem here in lane 14.
Going that way.
Nixon picks off a couple. Whoops, we got a ball over here. Ball over here. That's Arthur. Over here it's Miro. Oh, past Miro, it's Steves. Steves will pick up his spare. Nixon missed her spare. Arthur misses hers. So Nixon gets a 112. Caitlin Bruce, the prior one, she got a 149. Fair with 144. And 9 pins for Steves. Goslin getting 9 pins over here. And Jaeger in the gutter, so Jaeger's gonna And so the 151, we had a 99 for Arthur. Open here for, no, unopened. Here's open for Goslin. Goslin with 117, Nixon had the 112. Oh, here's Cokes. After a long wait, Cokes strikes. Dumas up for the Cougars. He's the 5-pin. Oops, now we got Sheehan coming up here. The guy's coming out of nowhere. That's going to end his game. End his night. To number 104. Furman picks off 7 pins. Dumas picks up a spare.
Big Phil, Maddie, Big Phil.
Let's see, 536, 669. There's Furman. Furman leaves it open. Dumas picks up a strike to give her a 157. Wanna wrap up the girls. We got Sterling. Sterling gets a strike. We have with Furman finished with a 113, so there's a 672 series for Cokes, 376 for Furman. This is Sterling.
Oh yeah.
In the gutter. So
Come on. Take your time here, fill it out. Come on.
he's working on a strike, so he can still get 10 more here on the fill ball. So he's got a 152 plus whatever he's got here. He's got 378 plus whatever he's got here.
I don't quite understand because I don't see Joey making it. More like Mom would have to, so I don't think Mom would make that.
I'll give him 6 more. 158 and 384 series. Again, that's the Willsboro side. The girls are gone. They disappeared just right after the game. They didn't stick around at all. They were ready, packed up and ready to go. There's Joliker. Joliker with a strike. Well, that's a 3-bagger for Joliker. So he's hoping for a strong finish here. Maybe well into the 200s. Another strike from Joliker.
Good job, Matt.
Well, he's adding 30 for each one of those. Each the first first 3 X's. First 2 X's, I guess. And he's added 20 in this, so he's got 80 pins above that 235 I'm counting. And we got waiting for a ball. So might go, we'll head back there and fix things. He's got his ball. It gives him a 243, a 665 series.
Good job.
Just a hair below that 672, but he had a couple of nice 200 plus games. Coach said that 281 to start things. He gets a 207 in his final. Well, now we got Joey Robert. He got a strike. He was working on an open, so that'll put him over the 200. 203 and 2 fill balls. 203, he's got a 210. And one more ball to throw. And the last ball of the day, it's a spare for Joey Robert. Watching viewer-supported local television, hometown cable. We've been coming at you from the Bowl Mart Lanes, beautiful downtown, just between beautiful downtown Rouse's Point and beautiful downtown Champlain. Thanks for watching and supporting viewer-supported local television, hometown cable TV we think is worth your support.